The call to transposition is the moment when the being realizes that it can no longer remain where it is. It is a silent summons, almost always internal, that arises when consciousness surpasses the limit of what is acceptable and demands movement. It is not a gentle invitation, it is a force that pushes, an urgency that grows, a need that asserts itself. The transposition begins when the being understands that remaining the same means betraying what has already awakened within. This call does not come from outside. It is born from the friction between what the being is and what it senses it can become. It is the clash between the multiplicity that surrounds it and the unity that begins to emerge. Transposition is the instant when the rare being in formation realizes that it can no longer dissolve into the multitude. It feels that there is something within it that needs to cross, surpass, break through. And this feeling, although unsettling, is also liberating. The call to transposition is always accompanied by resistance. The old part of the being tries to remain, tries to convince, tries to postpone. The multitude offers comfort, predictability, belonging. But the call is stronger than comfort. It manifests itself as a question that will not fall silent, as a dissatisfaction that cannot be resolved, as a courage that begins to reveal itself. The being realizes that, if it does not cross over, it will remain trapped in a cycle that can no longer contain it. Transposition demands renunciation. It is necessary to abandon old certainties, old fears, old roles. The being finds itself before a boundary that cannot be crossed, carrying excessive baggage. The call to transposition is therefore also a call to purification. The rare is born when the being accepts losing in order to gain density. But the call is not merely rupture, it is also direction. It points toward a place that does not yet exist, but that is already announcing itself. Transposition is not an escape from the multitude, but a movement toward consciousness. It is the step that transforms the being into someone capable of balancing the world with its own lucidity. The call to transposition is the beginning of the journey that leads from repetition to authenticity, from the mass to essence, from dispersion to unity. To answer this call is to accept the destiny of rarity. It is to understand that the crossing is not a choice, but a consequence of acquired consciousness. Whoever hears the call never returns to being what they were. Transposition is the birth of the rare, and the rare is the one who, upon crossing over, begins to carry the weight that keeps the universal balance in equilibrium.